Who goes there? Chapter 6. Gary looked about the crowded room. 32 men, some tensed nervously, standing against the wall. Some uneasily relaxed. Some sitting, most perforce standing, as intimate as sardines. 32, plus the 5 engaged in sewing up wounded dogs, made 37, the total personnel. Gary started speaking. All right, I guess we're here. Some of you, 3 or 4 at most, saw what happened. All of you have seen the thing on the table and can get a general idea. Anyone hasn't, I'll lift. His hand strayed to the tarpaulin. Bulking over the thing on the table, there was an acrid odor of singed flesh seeping out of it. The men stirred restlessly, hasty denials. It looks rather as though Charnock isn't going to lead any more teams, Gary went on. Blair wants to get at this thing and make some more detailed examination. We want to know what happened and make sure right now that this is permanently, totally dead, right? Conant grinned. Anybody that doesn't agree can sit up with it tonight. All right then. Blair, what can you say about it? What was it? Gary turned to the little biologist. I wonder if we ever saw its natural form. Blair looked at the covered mass. It may have been imitating the beings that built that ship, but I don't think it was. I think that was its true form. Those of us who were up near the bend saw the thing in action. The thing on the table is the result. When it got loose, apparently, it started looking around. Antarctica, still frozen as it was ages ago when the creature first saw it, and froze. From my observations, while it was thawing out, and bits of the tissue I cut and hardened then, I think it was native to a hotter planet than Earth. It couldn't, in its natural form, stand on the temperature. There is no life form on Earth that can live in Antarctica during the winter. But the best compromise is the dog. It found the dogs and somehow got near enough to Charnock to get him. The others smelled it, heard it, I don't know. Anyway, they went wild and broke chains and attacked it before it was finished. The thing we found was part Chinook, queerly only half dead, part of Chinook's half digested by the jelly-like protoplasm of that creature, and part of the remains of the thing we originally found, sort of melted down to the basic protoplasm. When the dogs attacked it, it turned into the best fighting thing it could think of, some otherworldly beast, apparently. Turned? Snapped Gary. How? Every living thing is made up of jelly, protoplasm, and minute, submicroscopic things called nuclei, which control the bulk, the protoplasm. This thing was just a modification of that same worldwide plan of nature. Cells made up of protoplasm, controlled by their infinitely tinier nuclei. You physicists might compare it to an individual cell of any living thing with an atom. The bulk of the atom, the space-filling part, is made up of electron orbits. But the character of the thing is determined by its atomic nucleus. This isn't wildly beyond what we already know. It's just a modification we haven't seen before. It's as natural and as logical as any other manifestation of life. It obeys exactly the same laws. The cells are made of protoplasm, their character determined by the nucleus. Only in this creature, the cell nuclei can control those cells at will. It digested Charnock, and as it digested, studied every cell of his tissue and shaped its own cells to imitate them exactly. Parts of it, parts that had time to finish changing, are dog cells, but they don't have dog cell nuclei. Blair lifted a fraction of the tarpaulin. A torn dog leg with stiff gray fur protruded. That, for instance, isn't dog at all. It's imitation. Some parts I'm certain about. The nucleus was hiding itself, covering up with dog cell imitation nuclei. In time, not even a microscope would have shown the difference. Suppose, asked Norris bitterly, it had lots of time. Then it would have been a dog. The other dogs would have accepted it. We would have accepted it. I don't think anything would have distinguished it. Not microscope, not X-ray, nor any other means. This is a member of a supremely intelligent race. A race that has learned the deepest secrets of biology and turned them to its use. What was it planning to do? Barclay looked at the humped tarpaulin. Blair grinned unpleasantly. The wavering halo of thin hair round his bald pate wavered in the stir of air. Take over the world, I imagine. Pinky is Pinky and the brain. Take over the world? Just it, all by itself? Conant gasped. Set itself up as a lone dictator? No, Blair shook his head. The scalpel he had been fumbling in his bony fingers dropped. He bent to pick it up so that his face was hidden as he spoke. It would become the population of the world. Become populate the world? Does it reproduce asexually? Blair shook his head and gulped. It doesn't have to. It weighed 85 pounds. Chinook weighed 90. It would have become Chinook and had 85 pounds left to become, Jack, for instance, or Chinook. It can imitate anything, that is, become anything. If it had reached the Antarctic Sea, it would have become a seal, maybe 2 seals. They might have attacked a killer whale and become either killers or a herd of seals. Or maybe it would have caught an albatross or a skagull and flown to South America. Norris cursed softly, and every time it digested something and imitated it, it would have its original bulk left to start again, Blair finished. Nothing would kill it. It had no natural enemies because it becomes whatever it wants to. If a killer whale attacked, it would become a killer whale. If it was an albatross and an eagle attacked it, it would become an eagle. Lord, it might even become a female eagle. Go back, build a nest, and lay eggs. Are you sure that thing from hell is dead? Dr. Copper asked softly. Yes, thank heavens, the little biologist gasped. After they drove the dogs off, I stood there poking Barr's electrocution thing into it for 5 minutes. It's dead and cooked. Then we can only give thanks that this is Antarctica, where there's not one single solitary living thing for it to imitate, except these animals in camp. Us, Blair giggled. It can imitate us. Dogs can't make 400 miles to the sea. There's no food. There aren't any gulls to imitate at this season. There aren't any penguins this far inland. There's nothing that can reach the sea from this point except us. We've got the brains. We can do it. Don't you see? It's got to imitate us. It's got to be one of us. That's the only way it can fly an airplane. Fly a plane for 2 hours and be all of Earth's inhabitants. A world for the taking, if it imitates us. It didn't know yet. It hadn't had a chance to learn. It was rushed, hurried, took the thing nearest to its own size. Look, I'm Pandora. I opened the box, and the only hope that can come out is that nothing can come out. You didn't see me. I did it. I fixed it. I smashed every magneto. Not a plane can fly. Nothing can fly. Blair giggled and lay down on the floor crying. Chief Pilot Van Wall made a dive for the door. His feet were fading echoes in the corridor as Dr. Copper bent unhurriedly over the little man on the floor. From his office at the end of the room, he brought something and injected a solution into Blair's arm. He might come out of it when he wakes up, he sighed, rising. McCready helped him lift the biologist into a nearby bunk. It all depends on whether we can convince him that the thing is dead. Van Wall ducked into the shack, brushing his heavy blonde beard absently. I didn't think a biologist would do a thing like that up thoroughly. He missed the spares in the second cache. It's all right. I'll smash 'em. Commander Gary nodded. I was wondering about the radio. Dr. Copper snorted. You don't think it can leak out on a radio wave, do you? You'd have 5 rescue attempts in the next 3 months if you stopped the broadcast. The thing to do is talk loud and not make a sound. Now I wonder. McCready looked speculatively at the doctor. It might be an infectious disease. Everything that drank any of its blood. Copper shook his head. Blair missed something. Imitate it may, but it has, to a certain extent, its own body chemistry, its own metabolism. If it didn't, it would become a dog and be a dog and nothing more. It has to be an imitation dog. Therefore, you can detect it by serum tests. And its chemistry, since it comes from another world, must be wholly radical different than a few cells, such as gained by drops of blood, would be treated as disease germs by the dog or the human body. Blood? Would one of those imitations bleed? Norris demanded. Surely, nothing mystic about blood. Muscle is about 90% water. Blood differs only in having a couple % more water and less connective tissue. They'd bleed all right, Copper assured him. Blair sat up in his bunk suddenly. Conant! Where's Conant? The physicist moved towards the little biologist. Here I am. What do you want? Are you? Giggled Blair. He lapsed back into the bunk, contorted with silent laughter. Conant looked at him blankly. Huh? Am I what? Are you there? Blair burst into gales of laughter. Are you, Conant? The beast wanted to be a man, not a dog. So quoth Miss Raven. Oh, this is marvelous. If they only knew more about DNA back then, they would have used that word. But anyway, very fun. I hope you are all doing well out there. Let me know. Give me a hey. Love to talk to you guys. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.